Identity is something that all of us have, and every single one is unique in its own way. No matter how small a certain characteristic might be, it's still enough to make one person stand out from another. All the habits an individual has formed and the life experiences they've accumulated become an amalgamation of what makes them who they are. Understanding your place in this world and knowing where you fit in can be a wonderful feeling, and it's also a very human thing to desire. Almost everyone wants to have a sense of belonging. But what happens when others decide who you are? What can be done when individuals other than yourself dictate your identity? The first thing that needs to be established is that the opinions of total strangers do not matter. It is only when you are directly affected by these people that it should be a concern. But if someone that is connected to you in no way at all labels you as something you are not, why is it even an issue? On the other hand, there are times that your life can be altered due to the way people view you, especially if it involves friends and family. What these individuals consider you to be is important because they play a major role in your life, as do you in theirs, so it is vital for there to be an understanding of who everyone really is. A good stereotypical example is when someone has been branded as the lazy family member, when in reality they aren't that at all, but they're still stuck carrying that title. And what happens as a result is this person is probably considered unreliable and never taken seriously. But there has to be a reason they are looked upon and thought of as being this way. Maybe in the past this individual demonstrated that they were lazy. Now, setting that example aside, let's get to the question of why you're being labeled as something you're not. Think about this. Did you legitimately do something that earned you a mistaken identity? Whether the answer is yes or no, there is still one way to correct the problem. Simply prove them wrong. Engage in a lifestyle that contradicts their insinuations. And when it becomes plain as day that you are without a doubt not what they claim you to be, there will be nothing left for them to assume. There is, however, still a chance that somebody might go out of their way for the sole purpose of tarnishing your name. And this can be problematic in multiple ways, because when you exist within a society that condemns certain types of behavior, and you are deemed someone that perpetuates those behaviors, the consequences can be damaging. It's common now for people to get accused of being sexist or racist, and some even go as far to throw around the term Nazi. It's not difficult to understand this tactic. It's a way of turning someone into an outcast and removing their power, so that they are no longer a threat. This is an intelligent strategy, but it's also cowardly. These label-slinging gladiators rely on name-calling and underhandedly ruining people's lives with gossip, because that's all they can do. So if these weasels come after you, be ready. Use your head and watch every step you take, because they'll be waiting for you to screw up. And if you do find yourself cornered, do not give in and start apologizing or run around putting on a show. Reacting that way is pathetic. It's a desperate attempt to save face, but the only thing accomplished is you bending to the will of the aggressor, which will lead to you becoming someone else. The most powerful response to being given the wrong identity is to continue being yourself. Keep devoting time to the things that make up who you are. Others will notice, and if they choose to remain blind, then they aren't worth any energy. The same goes for worrying about attackers. Living a life that's absent of what they accuse you of provides enough proof to combat their lies. Obviously, every situation is different, but one thing is certain: identity is sacred, and it's worth fighting for. Never allow others to choose who you are. And if you find yourself in a situation where you're being wrongly defined, just know that with effort you can put a stop to it. Hey everybody, I just wanted to say thanks for watching my video, and if you aren't already subscribed, please subscribe and share this with your friends. I figured this was an important topic to cover because this is something I've personally dealt with several times in my life, and I'm sure that many of you listening have dealt with it as well. So, how about you go ahead and go down to the comments and share some of your experiences with being identified as something you're not, and what you did to correct that issue. Alright, until you hear from me again, have a good one.